Have you ever wanted to make a change in your life, but you seem to keep failing because you are afraid of what might happen if you actually succeed in the one thing that you are trying to achieve? You're probably scared and thinking that the people around you won't support you on your journey to become stronger because they were in the exact same place that you were when you first started. These people will most likely remain in the exact same place they are at right now because they don't have the courage that you do to step up and succeed and change who you are as a person. You're going to have to go through all of this on your own to become stronger in your journey. You'll be wondering if you're really doing the right thing. You might stop and wonder because you are scared of your true potential. You have to keep pushing forward no matter what pain comes, no matter what obstacle comes, no matter what wall stands in your way. Because if you want to get what you really want in life, you are going to make those necessary sacrifices to achieve the goal that you set out to protect those around you by adopting your shadow, becoming a monster, doing exactly what Kaneki has done in Tokyo Ghoul. As Carl Jung said, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. We have to be willing to face the pain and suffering to become who we are meant to be in this world. Without this pain, we will never truly know and understand what we are capable of or who we truly are. Nowadays, a lot of people, they don't feel this pain. They don't want to feel pain. They don't want to see what they are truly made of because they don't put themselves in hard situations. Most of these people don't even want to have this hard, challenging situation because they like the comfy life that they are living right now. The only problem with this is when you become comfortable with living a life of comfort and luxury, when the hard times come, as they will, these people won't know what to do. Now, if you look at people on the other hand that have put themselves through the pain, through the suffering, through the struggle, they understand what's necessary to be able to get through that pain because they get that it's only temporary. They understand that it's all going to pass. Kaneki, however, he got stronger through this pain that he put himself through, as all of us do. Like when we go to the gym, when we lift, when we put our bodies through that strain, we become stronger, we become better, we become more willing to face the troubles that the world has to offer and that will inevitably throw at us. You can look at Kaneki. He was doing everything in his power to avoid facing the pain of who he actually was as a person. No matter a person, no matter how absurd, in order to avoid facing their own soul, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. So Kaneki can be seen when he's first being tortured. It's all white, it's all perfect, it's all pristine. Yet as he starts to come to terms that he is a ghoul and who he actually is as a person, you can see his consciousness start to fade into a more red and more dark theme because he's adopting that darkness that was within him. But the only issue with this is he went too far to the side of complete darkness instead of being able to accept both his light and his dark. He decided he was completely a ghoul and he wanted nothing to do with his humanity whatsoever, and this made him lose touch with who he actually was, and he actually started to be consumed by that darkness within him. The acceptance of oneself is the essence of the whole moral problem and the epitome of a whole outlook on life. But what if I should discover that the least amount of them all, the poorest of all the beggars and the most impenitent of all the offenders, the very enemy himself, that they are within me and that I myself stand in need of the alms of my own kindness, that I myself am the enemy who must be loved? What then? Kaneki, he didn't understand this. He didn't understand that he was the one that he had to love. He thought that he had to go out and take all this burden of all this stress, of all this chaos on himself to be able to protect those around him. And yes, to a certain extent, you have to. You have to accept that you are going to have to take charge and you are going to have to become stronger in order to protect those around you by adopting your shadow. But you can't lose yourself in the process. You still have to be kind to yourself. You still have to treat yourself with respect. You still have to understand who you are as a person. But in the process, you are going to be burning off a lot of darkness, a lot of feelings of resentment, regret, past traumas and pains to be able to get to the place to where you can truly succeed and be who you are meant to be. Kaneki, he didn't do this. He took on too much for himself. He decided that he was just going to go completely the opposite way that he was before, and this hindered him. This made him weak. But now, at the end of season 2, you finally get to see his hair going back to the brown that it was when he was human, but it's still the white that he is when he's a ghoul. So he has finally accepted both parts of him thanks to his friend Hyde. If it wasn't for Hyde, Kaneki would still be 100% ghoul. He wouldn't want to have anything to do with humanity, but he finally came to the conclusion after seeing his friend Hyde, pass, that he was capable of being human, that is compassionate and caring towards others, but still having the evil and vengeance and possibility to hurt and harm others with his ghoul side. And that's the thing that I want you guys to understand from this whole video, is you have to understand that you can accept your both goodness, your kindness, your empathy, your consideration towards others, but you still have to have that ability to have those tough conversations, those conversations that are going to be difficult and challenging, might hurt you or the other person. But it's better to be upfront and use your ghoul side to address those problems. But when it comes down to your individuals and how you're treating people, treat them with kindness and respect, as Kaneki did when he was in his human form. So you want to have a balance between both of those, and the best way to do that is by adopting your shadow and adopting who you are as a person, because that is hands down, as Carl Jung also said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. I hope you guys liked this video. If it did, please leave a like. Otherwise, you guys, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.